Hi, Michael. This is Amanda with Digital Velocity and SEO. Barrett told me that you wanted one of our custom screencast videos here to show you kind of your current standing and, up against your competition and where you're ranking locally. So basically, before I go to your website, I wanted to take a look at your Google business profile. So basically, when we work with somebody, we require optimizing their Google business listing as well as doing website work for them, because they go hand in hand. It's very important to have an optimized Google business listing as well. So I'm not sure if you know how a web page is laid out. I mean, duh, but there's actually more to it than you would originally think. So, like I searched for remodeling contractors, Olympia, Washington. So the way that the page is structured here is, usually if there's anybody that's Google verified or Google guaranteed, which is an ad program that I'll talk to you about a little bit later, that comes up at the very top of the page. And then below that is anybody who's running pay-per-click advertising. And then there's the map pack. And then below that is the organic listing. So it takes something separate to get into each one of these 4 different categories. These are the ad programs, so you have to be in the ad program. To get into the map pack here, you need an optimized Google business listing, which I've got yours pulled up here. So basically, to optimize this Google business listing, there's just a whole list of things that we do. Make sure that you have, your photos in there, that you have good pictures, and that they're geotagged with your location for an extra little boost for SEO. Making sure that you have pictures of the outside and the inside of your building, the street view, all of that stuff, so people can find you. Making sure you have your website linked, that you're getting enough reviews, which 57 reviews is not bad, but you can always use more reviews. So we've done things in the past like making flyers for people to help with their reviews so that they can hand them out after they complete a service. It's got a QR code that leads directly to your Google business listing, so it makes it easier for them to leave you a review. Just kind of, things to pump up your reviews a little bit because they're a very important ranking factor. There's a spot in here, which I can't show you on this side of it, but I pulled up my Google business listing, where you can list your services. And each one of these things that you have listed here, like yours would be bathroom remodeling, kitchen remodeling, home additions, etc., etc. You need to have a business description or service description for each one of these things that you have listed as a service. And there's lots of variations of things, like, it'll say home remodelers or home renovation or home renovation expert. So all those keywords are things that you need to include in your services and have a description for those as well. Sorry, my mouse is frozen here. Basically, so doing all of that, plus making sure that your socials are linked, making sure that you're staying up to date on updates, which I see that you have been posting updates, so that's really good. But more regularly would be better for your business. I see that you've got some May 5th and then May 1st, but then the ones back here are kind of, actually I think you're not doing too bad here. They're every week or maybe 2-3 a week. But probably 4 or 5 would be optimal for you, just because you are in a really highly competitive niche. And then this section down here, it gives you 750 characters to write your description. So making sure that you utilize all the words that you can there, and that you throw like a keyword or 2 in there is important. And then there's also a space here where it's for questions and answers. And so if you don't have people that are asking you questions on your Google business, you can actually go in and ask and answer your own questions. And this is a really important part of ranking as well, because Google likes to see that you're trying to provide answers to people who are searching for, questions related to your service. So, what we do is we just put in the questions that are, things that are normally asked, things that customers normally ask you. We will fill that out in the questions and answer ourselves. So So that is half of the ranking factor for the map pack, is that Google business listing being optimized. Then the other half of that is what's called citations. So citations are your business name, address, and phone number as it's listed on Google in different directories across the web. So places like Yext, Yellow Pages, BBB, iBring, all these places that have business directory listings for you. So I pulled you up on a free tool. It's SEMrush, and basically it tells me your citation accuracy. So it's saying that your accuracy is pretty bad. That just out of the 40 that they list, there's 20 of them that you need to fix. So you can see here, like, it says that you're not present on Facebook and Bing. And I'm not really sure what's going on with Facebook, because it says that my business isn't active on, or isn't present on Facebook too, but I know for sure mine is. So, but I know that the rest of these are accurate because I've gone through and scanned my own listings. So you're not listed in any of these places here. So, and there's way more than this. There's way more than these 40 that they have here. What we do is, for each client that we work with, we go in and build 200 of these, so that you far surpass your competition, and so that it takes them a while to catch back up to you, because every single one of these citations is like a vote in Google's eyes, that shows that your business is relevant, and that it's actually a business that's performing in the area that you say you are. So these are really important to do. I mean, they're 50% of the ranking factor. So that's kind of what's included with your Google business listing, and what we could do for you to get that optimized and hopefully move you up in the ranking. Because right now, let's see, where did I have you at? I looked up your business and counted how many positions you were down, and you were the 15th listed. Here we go. So you're number 15th as far as when I searched remodeling contractors, Olympia, Washington. So to get you moved up in this section, that's where what I just talked about comes into play. So and we're trying to get you up into the map pack, which is those first 3 or 4 listings that are on Google, because they say that like 50% of search traffic comes from the map pack. So it's really beneficial to get you into the map pack, as well as getting you ranked in the top in organic listings, which is where your website comes into play, so that you're taking up as much real estate from page 1 of Google as possible. So we're trying to give them not an opportunity to go and find another business, like you're just blam right there in front of their face when they search for remodeling contractors. So as far as when your website comes in, this is a paid tool that I use called Ahrefs, and I pulled up the backside of your website here. Basically, I'll run through what this all means here, because I know it's probably gibberish, but so basically the GR and the UR scores are like the trust that Google has in you, that you are who you say you are and you do what you say you do, and the power that's being driven to your website. And you drive power to your website through what's called backlinks. So backlinks are basically any link that is on another website that leads back to your website. So say like a blog post about new home construction in Olympia, and the blog post author provided you a link that led back to your website. If it's what's called a do follow link, then that would basically be telling that website, telling Google, hey, it's okay for you to share my power with this other website. And so that's how you move yourself up in the rankings for your keywords. Because you'll initially show up for your keywords just by having them in the content on your website, but you'll be on page 4, 5, 6, depending on how much competition there is that's also trying to rank for that keyword. So to move yourself up into the first page of Google, you need those backlinks, and that's a monthly SEO, as part of a monthly SEO package. The referring domains are just the websites that host those backlinks. And then the keywords, this is an important part. You're only getting 2 traffic to your site per month, and that's coming through these keywords. So, and keywords, like I had just mentioned, are, they're in the content on your web pages. And so, building out pages for every service that you do, building out pages for the locations that you service, which is something that you're missing here on your website, is important, because the more pages you have, the more opportunities you have to target keywords in the content, because you can only target one keyword per 125 words of content. Otherwise, Google will see you as keyword stuffing. So having those pages give you more opportunity to target those keywords and bring in that search traffic and convert that traffic to customers. When I looked up, Google really likes to see 1,500 to 2,000 words of content on your homepage, and then about 500 to 750 words of content on each supporting page. So when I looked up your word count, you've only got 320 words on your homepage. So we need to add keywords or content to get you up to about 2,000 words of content, which is what Google likes to see. So going back to your thing here, these are the keywords that you are ranking for right now. So let's see, you are ranking for remodeling contractor Olympia. The volume here is how many people per month are searching for this word. The traffic is how much you're getting to your site from this word. The position is the position that you are in on Google. And location, they changed things here. This location thing didn't used to be here, but so basically you're getting one person to your site per month from your business name. And then here you're 19th for remodeling contractor in Olympia. So you're at the very, very bottom. Well, actually you're at the top page of 2. At the top of page 2. Sorry, mixing my words here. Kitchen remodeling contractors Olympia. There's 40 people searching for it a month. You're in the 21st position. So if you were ranking higher for these keywords, you would be funneling some of this traffic here from these keywords. So you're showing up for a decent amount of keywords. I mean, it's on kind of on the low end for your niche, but if we got you ranking for these keywords that you're already showing up for, you just get a lot of traffic just from that. But then we also go in and do competitor analysis and find all the keywords that you're not showing up for and include those in the content, so that we also get you ranking for those keywords. So this is one of your competitors that I pulled up here. You can see they've got quite a few more backlinks than you do, and a little bit more keywords, but they're bringing in 124 traffic, and that's probably because they're ranking for some of their keywords. So see, they're on the first page of Google for all of these keywords basically until about here, and they're getting traffic from all of the keywords from here up. So remodeling contractor Olympia, they're in the second position, and they're getting 26 traffic from that. So remember, you were only getting, you're getting 0 traffic from that because you're ranked, where are we at? Remodeling contractors. So you're ranked 19th, which is why you're not getting any traffic from that. So they're in the second position and getting 26 traffic. So you can see if you were ranked in the second or first position, you'd be getting a bigger chunk of that traffic. So home remodeling contractors Olympia, home remodeling Olympia, you can see they're getting a pretty good amount of traffic from each one of those keywords. So getting you ranking for those keywords, and then, like I said, finding the missing keywords that you're not ranking for and getting those included in the content as well, and getting you ranking for those. This is another one of your competitors, First Finishers. They don't have a ton more backlinks. They are about the same keywords as the previous business, but they're getting 78 traffic. And backlinks, seeing this big number for backlinks, it doesn't really matter, because it's about quality, not quantity. So they could have, 2,000 backlinks, but they're spammy backlinks that aren't providing them any power, then they aren't really going to matter. So we go in here and make sure that we're targeting high quality, niche relevant links that are going to actually bring you the power that's needed to move your keywords up in the rankings. And same thing with the keywords, making sure that they're actual location specific keywords, so that we're targeting traffic that is in your specific locations that you're servicing, so that we're bringing you in traffic from places, from people who are in places that are more likely to convert for you. So I also, this isn't something that I normally do, but I wanted to kind of give you an idea of where you're ranking. So this is another paid tool that I use. And this is a heat map. So basically, you plug in the business and a keyword, and it tells you your average ranking position. So for remodeling contractors in Olympia, your average ranking position is 19. So you can see here, you're kind of ranking a little bit higher than some of these outliers, but bathroom remodeler Olympia, your average rank position is 20 plus. So this can actually be higher than 20. It's just, this is as much as it goes up to. And then same thing with kitchen remodeler Olympia. So you're ranking, pretty low on your keywords here that are the most important keywords, because these are really, they're what you do. So they're pretty important to rank, in the top 4, because anything that somebody types into the Google search bar to find you is what's called a keyword. So this is something that somebody would type into Google to find you, and you want to show up for it. Because that's how people are going to find you. Otherwise, if you're sunk down on page 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, they're never going to see your business. And most people don't go past like the 3rd business that they look for. They find somebody that they'll work with within those 3 businesses. So getting you into those top spots is really important. But so these are just some of the ways that I kind of wanted to show you, things that you can even do yourself to improve with your marketing here, and things that we can help you with. I will send this over to Barrett and have him send it to you. And if you're interested in moving forward, if you want to just reach back out to him or I, and we'll just have like a 20 or 30-minute phone call with you to gather some more information. And then from that information, we can build you a proposal, which will give you the prices for everything. And I break down kind of everything goes a la carte. So you'll have like your website cost, your SEO costs, and then all the ad costs and stuff will be below that in social media. Google Guaranteed, one thing I wanted to touch on really quick. It's a great program, especially for contractors. I've got several other contractors in it, and we've had to pause and turn off leads because they were overbooked. So it's just great for contractors, especially in this area. And it's a much better program than like pay-per-click, where you're casting a wider net. This is kind of, it's more actual real referrals, instead of like your competition could go on to your pay-per-click and they could run up your ad costs by clicking on your ad. Whereas this is not with clicks and impressions, it's just for qualified leads. And there's also more benefits to it, like Google guarantees your work, so they refund the customer up to a certain amount if they're not happy with the work. So those things are trust factors with customers. So if somebody knows that they're going to get their money back if they're not happy with something, they're more apt to go with that business than say another business that didn't have a guarantee. So there's a lot of benefits to it, and it's just a really great ad program. So if that's something that you're interested in, we can talk more about that too. But yeah, I hope that you found this helpful, and have a great rest of the evening, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.